guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have Grayson here with me. I feel like it's been a hot minute since we've done
a very long time.
A Q&A actually.
Oh, I would say since I've been in here.
No, because I was watching yesterday I was watching videos of like our old vlogs and they look really different. So.
You watch back to when we were living in Florida. We both look so young. Like we look like little children.
We were kids. I was a teenager when we got married. Okay.
You've been saying that.
It is. It's crazy. I was 19.
That is pretty crazy.
19.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I asked you guys to send in some questions, and you did, so we're going to be answering those today. There's things in regards to marriage, in regards to adulting, and faith, and all that stuff. So.
Nice. What we got?
First things first is...
questions there, man.
Oh, okay, so we're only going to do half of the questions here and half of the questions on my Instagram. You guys should go check that out, because that'll be up the same day this video is posted. Alright,
Good to know.
So...
I didn't know this either.
The first things... Don't look at the questions.
Sorry.
Okay, so their question is, getting married next year, what is your advice for a couple getting ready for marriage? I would say don't get a wedding planner, but I would say get a wedding day coordinator. We realized throughout our wedding that there was a lot of things that we said we were going to do the day of our wedding, like this one dance and like certain activities and stuff, and just kind of like coordination of like when are we going to eat, when is going to be the first dance, so on and so forth. And I feel like a lot of that was missed and kind of like what's happening next because there was no one really there to coordinate the actual day of the wedding.
It's kind of hectic.
Yeah. I don't think a wedding planner in itself is necessarily necessary. I don't think that's necessary just because like we basically planned our wedding. You were living in Arkansas, I was living in Florida.
Yeah.
And we were just like
it's not very difficult
yeah.
to do as far as planning, but definitely day of coordinator.
Yeah, we were just picking out like colors and stuff, and then literally 10 days before our wedding, we like got everything together.
Yeah.
So, have you ever had prior heartbreak?
You go first, Chica.
Me? Well, I never really had a boyfriend until I dated Grayson, so I would say no, I haven't had prior heartbreak. I've gotten like sad back in the day when like I had a crush on someone, but it was never like I dated someone and then we ended up breaking up.
Yeah.
You?
For me, I mean, I had a couple of relationships, but never really got that serious, so no, not really.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would you rather live by the beach or by the mountains?
The beach.
Probably the beach. What made you guys get married so young?
Love, man. I don't know. Why wait?
How old were you? You were 20?
I was 20.
He was 20, I was 19 when we got married. Basically, we dated like 3 or 4 months, if even. We probably knew each other for less than a year before he proposed. And then once we were engaged for, I think, like 5 months. And then we had our wedding.
Yeah, 5 months.
Yeah.
Why'd you get married so young?
Why did I get married?
Why'd you get married so early?
I mean, I always thought that I was going to get married like fairly young, but I thought it was going to be more like 21, 22, not 19. And when I went to the school where I met Grayson, I had no intention of getting in a relationship. And so
Same.
I guess it just took a turn. It just took a turn. I don't know. I mean, once I met him, I like really liked him, and we got to become pretty good friends during the school that we were in, and we got to know each other, I feel like, faster than people normally would on your average like day-to-day relationship, just because of like where we were and what we were doing. I don't know. I just like you.
You're cute.
Why'd you propose?
I don't want to let you get away.
You're so cute.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was that we both knew where our lives were heading, and we wanted to spend it together rather than apart. And everyone's always talking about, like, you want to make sure you have your whole life figured out, make sure you have a steady job before you get into a serious relationship. And for us, it was like, it's going to be another, like, 10 years
before that happens.
Before we even get that. So we're just going to figure life out together instead.
Okay. Do you prefer surprises or planning it together when it comes to anniversaries and birthdays?
Oh, well, here's the deal with birthdays. I've always wanted a surprise birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
It's never happened, man. No one's cared enough to surprise me with a birthday party. I guess.
This is so sad because his most
guess.
recent birthday, I booked a little Airbnb to like do a cute little like.
It was cute. I loved it.
No, I know, but like it was a cute little getaway, and like he enjoyed it. Yeah, whatever. But he thought I was throwing him a surprise birthday party, which was really unfortunate because I wasn't. And I wanted to throw him a surprise party, I really did, but like during that time we were in the transition of like moving out of our old apartment, and like we hadn't moved into this apartment yet, and so I didn't really feel like I had somewhere to host the surprise birthday party, and yeah, so I just decided to go with that. But in that sense, I'd probably say that I like to plan things together, personally for me.
I do too.
Yeah.
I just always want a surprise party. That's it.
Yeah. So apart from that,
I enjoy planning stuff.
Yeah, like
especially anniversaries.
Yeah, like anniversary trips or stuff like that. I'd much rather do it together, just because like you're both set in stone on what you want to do. And
although I do like not having to plan anything.
That's also true. I guess I wouldn't so much mind the aspect of planning it by myself. I just don't like the surprise element of things.
All right, guys.
Okay, we're back. My camera died.
All right, I got a question now. I'm asking them today. What was your first impression of each other?
Our first impression? Okay, so I thought you had a really nice smile. And then I was like, oh, he looks kind of like big, like buff, you know?
Thanks.
You're welcome. And I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. But I didn't like pay a whole bunch of attention to it. You were just like overall really like nice. And so I guess my first impression was you're cute and nice or something. I don't know.
I thought she was super ditzy.
I know.
Like, she was always talking about her nails.
Oh, I loved to do my nails.
And, like, her eyebrows. And I'm like, this girl's all about, like, her image. I was like, what is this? That was like day one, though.
Yeah.
After day one, that was gone. But, like, that was my very first impression.
That's so funny.
How was marriage?
How is marriage? I think marriage is great. I think it's gotten a lot better.
Oh, for sure.
Than when we first got married. I think that we've learned to like communicate and work through things and kind of just like learn to give each other space, but also hang out. And we're also, I feel like, a lot more independent than when we first got married, because like we have our own apartment and a lot more things that are ours. So I feel like we've progressed a lot in like that sense as well. So I just feel like marriage is good.
Yes. Yeah, no, marriage is good. Whenever we first got married,
it was hard.
It was very difficult. Mm-hmm. And it most likely will be for most people.
Mm-hmm.
But the past year, I'd probably say the past year has been, we've grown a lot together and we've grown a lot closer. And yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with arguing?
Okay, so.
Arguing, sorry. Probably didn't hear me. How do you deal with arguing?
So for arguing, I would say that this was probably one of the hardest things when we first got married, because I don't communicate well and I don't like.
She does now.
I've gotten better. It's still hard, but to give you a little like understanding, Grayson's very much the kind of person that needs to talk through something right then and there, and I don't like to do that. And he's also very comfortable with confrontation and having difficult conversations for the most part, whereas I'm not very comfortable with that. And I think it just has a lot to do with like growing up. Like I was never very comfortable with like voicing my opinion or communicating through things, and I feel like that really reflected on the way I try to communicate with Grayson.
It didn't work very well.
It'd get to the point where like we'd be arguing and like I'd be upset about something, or he'd be upset about something, and I would just like shut down and start crying and like not want to talk at all. And
it's the worst, man.
And it was really bad because like in me doing that, I feel like a part of me thought that like I didn't care enough to try and work through things or talk through things. But also the fact that he was like so like pushy about like wanting to talk about things made me feel like he didn't respect like my emotions and just like wanted to be okay and not care about how I felt, you know? So that's kind of the gist of how I feel most of our arguments were when we first got married. I think they've gotten a lot better just because I feel like I've gotten a lot better with being willing to have conversations and working through things with you. And I feel like also just the fact that like we've like been together a lot longer and I feel like I've gotten more comfortable in voicing things.
Yeah, she was always scared she would upset me or
Yeah.
I don't know, even that what it is.
It's part of it.
So she just wouldn't say certain things,
to.
and she didn't want me to. She was too scared to upset me, to make me unhappy, I guess.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better. I would say now we don't really argue a whole bunch though, so it's also helpful.
What advice do you have for people dating?
I would say enjoy it.
And go in with intention, you know. I don't really believe you should necessarily just be dating to dating, you know. If you want to pursue somebody, do it like date them, get to know them. That's kind of how you get to know somebody that you're interested in, but don't just do it because you want to have a boyfriend or you want to have a girlfriend, you know.
Yeah.
Go in with the intention of,
like you like this person.
I like this person. I want to see if I'll be able to marry them, you know, if I'm compatible with them. Go in with that intention that you want to go in.
Yeah.
Looking for that. Not just going in because you want to have a relationship.
Yeah, and I would also say like enjoy the season and stuff and like get to know them and really be intentional about getting to know them and having like conversations and stuff, especially if you're like really getting close to like getting engaged or getting married, like really making sure that you like know almost everything basically about them.
Who is most organized?
That's a hard one. Who
wants to be more, or who wants to be the most organized? And that's difficult too.
Yeah.
I always say we're about the same.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ambitions as far as organizing goes, but a lot of times it doesn't happen.
I will say that I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that like we're in an apartment and most of our marriage we've been in an apartment and you can't really like full on furnish it the way you want.
True.
And I think, and you can't like build things or like certain shelves, like just things like that you would normally do in a house that I feel like really help when it comes to staying organized and having a place for everything.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't have a place for everything.
And so I think that it makes it difficult for us to be organized and then like, okay, like if we're talking...
Excuses. All I hear is excuses.
If we're talking cars, I'd say you're more organized. Okay?
Yes.
When it comes to cars, he's a lot more organized.
I want my car to be pristine.
Yes. It can get really messy, but it's definitely always a lot cleaner than mine.
Yeah.
And sure. I think like when it comes to...
She makes me clean her car too.
Yes,
I'm just a nice guy, so I do it.
Yeah. But, yeah. So, we're not like crazy organized. We're not like filthy. And like, well, obviously, we like make sure and organize and clean up every now and then and make sure that like the dishes are clean and
sweep and mop
and mop. Yeah.
We just don't have like a. It would be nice to have like a set schedule. Like we need to do these things this time. You know, like you do dishes this day, I do dishes this day. We do a deep clean every weekend or something.
Yeah.
We might do that, but let's just do a simple one. Do you love to travel?
Do I love to travel? Yes.
Yes.
We'll make this one our last question. Really? Do you have more?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I would say that I've always loved traveling. I like had gone on a couple mission trips before I met Grayson. And so I have always loved the aspect of like meeting new people, seeing new places, and like experiencing new cultures and tasting new food and all that stuff. Like on our 10-day road trip, we were camping and living in our car, and like the fact that like that in itself is pretty hard, but like I loved all of it. So
it was fun. It was good for sure.
And I'm glad he likes to travel too.
I do, but I also a little more bougie than she is when it comes to travel. I like
fancy
being able to relax, you know, like in a hotel, sleep in a nice bed, or eat nice food.
Yes.
You know.
I will say, like, I very much love hotels and being, like, bougie and all that stuff, but I am so willing, so willing to just, like, live in the middle of nowhere and
she
like
keeps looking at me
live,
as she says this.
and live off of like basically anything if it means I get to go experience the world. So, all right. That concludes our questions. Thank you guys so much for watching and for submitting your questions. And just to remind you guys again, we did answer like a few other questions on my Instagram just because like it was a lot of questions. So I did an IGTV on there, and I'll have the link in the description down below for you guys to check out if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching.
We outie.
Bye.
Cha-ching.